Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Coach on the Rocks with me, TK. It's a wonderful day. Hopefully, if you're in the UK, you're managing with the heat wave. It is what it is. But today I wanted, well, yes, heat wave and temperature. That actually is aligned to the topic today because temperature can be clearly explained and expressed in a number. There's various scales. I'm not passing judgment, if you like, Fahrenheit, Celsius, or maybe even Kelvin. Um, but essentially, someone recently has said to me that I am relying too much on data, relying too much on the quantitative piece of information, maybe neglecting everything else. But you know what? Um, the more I think about it, the more I come to a realization that there isn't much that's there beyond the numbers. Now, shock horror, right? I'm a bit spiritual myself. I might not be religious, whatever that means. And, I have an open mind. There is a lot when it comes to soul, the third entity of the group, the culture of the organization. And it's not that everything can be measured directly, but to follow an often misquoted quote from Deming, it's very hard to manage anything that you can't just measure. Now the problem is if you don't see any way of capturing what's happening with yourself, with the organization, especially in the world of work or marketing, which is still work, I guess, for many people, you might struggle. And I do see people struggling. So if you have an opinion about that, let me know in the chat. Give me a like. I'm happy to have a bit of a discussion with you. After all, it's a live show, so use the facility. I'm not pre-recording them. Yeah, because maybe I should measure the number of people giving me a like or sending me a chat message over here. Um, the thing is, I look at graphs a lot and I give myself targets. For instance, at Humble Associates, I'm definitely looking at the number of interactions we're having, a number of new followers we're gaining, my own number of followers, how many of you are watching, how many of you are sending me messages. Because how else would I actually know that what I'm doing is effective, is aligned with the goals I have, and is giving value to any people? If you remain silent, or even if you remain not watching, what's the point? Right? Some people say, "Oh yeah, you should do that because it just feels right to do that." But I think we are being misled a lot by our biases. And the numbers are one of the few things that can bring truth. Now, there's obviously danger associated with it. There's like lies, big lies, and statistics. That is quite true. So if you're interpreting data, make sure that you have an open mind and you're not oversimplifying anything, and consider various hypotheses that you might have. Hey, Shade, thanks for being here. Let me know what you think about quantitative versus qualitative, and is it fair to say that you can quantify most of the things? I remember on my in business school, I've learned that some organizations quantify things that I was surprised to hear about, right? Because they even quantify people's lives and health. On a municipal level, are you going to build a new playground for kids, or maybe a CCTV camera to make sure that people are safer? What about safety in dangerous circumstances like mines? How can you justify this? And people measure it with money. It's just awful. But I've had like a session with someone from a big consultancy that does that, and it was shocking to see the numbers behind people's lives and health. I wish I could tell you that there's so much more beyond the quantifiable aspects of life. But I think this is the best thing I know for my personal self to battle my biases. Um, well, I guess if you're following me on LinkedIn, you can see a lot of what I'm or we're producing. Even if you're seeing this show here, it should resonate with you. Um, yeah, validate the output with qualitative, right? So that's the thing. Thank you, Shade, for participating in the discussion. Even the qualitative ones are existing, right? It's we shouldn't confine the qualitative results with something esoteric. Yes, there's more than numbers here. There's a wider narrative, but it's tangible. Let's at least be tangible and not claim we should just follow our gut. Sometimes you have to start with your gut. But I guess I always like to be honest with my gut, my own biases, and say, fine, maybe this is what I'll do, but I'm going to formulate a hypothesis and make sure I actually put in the success criteria. So I just don't always go on a hunch, and that won't be the only thing I'm doing. And you're right. I think, leading with both qualitative and quantitative in order to get the additional narrative from the qualitative is definitely something that we should do. But again, let's not confine the or let's not maybe misconstrue the notion of qualitative surveys and data and research with esoteric stuff. It's definitely tangible and it should be comparable and should help to guide our decisions. Like, I'll look at the data following these sessions, and thank you for two wonderful comments by Shade. I'm sure that some of you will have comments after, and some of you are actually sending me private messages after, which is great. Thank you. Definitely responding to all of them, and sometimes actually they help me to have new topics for these Coach on the Rock sessions. So please do continue. Always love to hear from you. And I'm hoping that I'll be able to hear from you and you'll be able to see me and hear me tomorrow. Have a great day. Bye bye.